Hi, hello, welcome. So in this video, we'll see the problem find second maximum value in an array. So in this problem, there will be given an array of size n of integer type. We need to find the second maximum element in an array. So we already seen the problem, which is we need to return back the first maximum value in an array. The video link will be in description. If you're interested, you can check out. And we are implementing the solution in Java. So let's understand deeper like what exactly the problem is. So there will be an input of size n of integer type. So there will be an array. We need to figure out like what is the maximum value. So in this case, the second maximum value is 6. The first maximum is 9. This is the first and this is the second maximum. So the output should be 6. So how do we solve this problem? The first and foremost brute force solution would be the brute force solution will be by sorting. Let's say this array we can do a sort. When we do a sort, so the value will be 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 9. So when we do in ascending order, this will be in the array looks like. And then we need to return back the second last element, which is 6. We can do by array of array dot length minus 2. We can do this. So this will be very simple and brute force solution. Let's understand what is the time complexity for this. The time complexity will be big O of n log n. So n log n, because we are doing a sorting and any sorting will take n log n time complexity, and the space complexity will be the constant big O of 1. So we wanted to do better than this n log n. So is there any way? Yes, there is a way. Let's explore that. We'll understand a second approach with the code itself. The second approach is very simple. We need to maintain the first max and the second max. We need to maintain the first max and second max as a variable, and whenever we need to iterate over the array, and we'll be tracking the second max and the first max, and then we'll need to return the second max. We'll understand deeper exactly how this code looks like. So before that, like, we'll understand this as a main method, and this will be called, and this is our input array, and we are calling this find second maximum value, and the find second maximum value will return a response that will be a second highest value, and we are printing that. When this method is called with an input array, we need to return back the second maximum value. To do that, so we are keeping two variables. One is first max and one is second max. At initial and by default, initial value we are keeping as an integer minimum value. This will be a minus 32,000 value, and this is also the same thing. So this is to keep track what is the first max and second max whenever we do a iteration over an array. To do iteration over an array, so we are using for loop. So first we are initializing I equals to 0, meaning from the 0th index we'll be iterating till the array length, the last element we are iterating it. This is the condition till the last element will be incrementing one by one. This is how we are declaring the for loop. At the first condition, what we are doing is if the current element, if it is greater than the first max, then what we are doing is we are making the first max, whatever the first max, we are assigning it to a second max, and the current element will be the first max. So I will understand with an example what exactly this does. If the current element, if it is greater than the second max, and if it is not equals to first max, then we are making that current element as a second max. So this is how we do a comparison for each and every element, and we do a track, and then finally we will return back the second max. Let's understand this with an example. Let's consider we have an input array 5, 1, 9, 2, and 3, and 6. So the zeroth element will be 5. So the first max will be negative value, as I said, and second max is also negative value. When the current element, which is 5, is greater than the first max. Yes, for sure. So this element will be the first max. Let's say the fm. And the second max, actually the first max will be given back to the second max, meaning the same, the negative value will be given to the second max. Let's say the first max initially there is a negative value, and second max also it has a negative value 32. But initially what it does is, after the first row iteration, after the first element iteration, sorry, fm will be, I mean the first max will be 5, and second max will be the negative value still. And when we do a second iteration, it increments to a second element. Now the second element will be the 1. So it will compare 1 with 5, because the 1 is not greater than 5, meaning the fm will be still 5, and it will come back to this condition, and it will compare with the second max. The second max is still negative value. So now what it happens is, it will assign the second max value with the 1. So now the second max value will be 1. And then when we iterate to the next element, which is 9, so the current element will be greater than the first max. So what happens is here, the second max will be now when it need to be 5, and the first max need to be 9, because 9 is greater than 5. This is what we are doing. First we are assigning 5 to a second max, and then we are doing assigning the current element to a first max. So the first max will be 9 and the second max will be 5. And when we move to a next element, which is 2, so 2 is lesser than the first max, and also 2 is lesser than second max. So we don't do anything, and we'll iterate to next element, which is 3. Again 3 is not greater than first max and the second max. So we don't do anything, and we'll proceed further to next element, which is 6. So now the 6 is not greater than the first max, which is 9, but 6 is greater than the second max. So it will come to this condition, and it will also check if the current element is not equals to first max. Yes, the 6 is not equals to 9. So that's the reason. So the current element, which is 6, will be assigned as a second max. So now, so instead of 5, it will be a 6. The second max will be 6. After visited all the elements within an array, the second element will be returned, which is second max, which is 6 need to be returned. So that's what the output is. Now let's understand this, like what is the time complexity. So we are iterating an array only one time. So the time complexity will be big O of n, and the space complexity will be the constant, because we are using only two variables. So that's a constant space. So that's the reason the space complexity will be constants only. Thank you for watching.